Hey guys, Dr. Tom Walent here, and I'm here to tell you about my 14-week DDPY Jacked Transformation. So many guys have known that over the last 14 weeks, I've been doing a body transformation using DDPY Jacked straps, which is a blood flow restriction cuff. And I've also been doing the DDPY Jacked workout. So in this long form video, I'm gonna tell you everything you ever wanted to know about this transformation, how it started, how did it come about, what did I do? And more importantly, what did I not do over these 14 weeks? I'm gonna tell you all about my results. I'm gonna give you a full review on blood flow restriction, a review of the cuffs themselves and the DDPY Jacked workouts. And I'm gonna tell you about where I'm gonna go from here. So if you've already purchased the DDPY Jacked straps, I think you'll really benefit from watching this entirety of the video. If you're on the fence, I think you're gonna learn so much about blood flow restriction training and the DDPY Jacked series. So how did all of this come about? So right before the release of the DDPY Jacked straps to the public, I was approached by Diamond Dallas Page, and he asked me if I was interested in doing a body transformation using the DDPY Jacked straps and the DDPY Jacked workouts. I'll be honest with you guys, I was very, very flattered by the invitation, but I was always very, very skeptical. And I'm very skeptical of any sort of new fitness product. I had seen blood flow restriction used in the gym multiple years. There's kind of phases where it kind of goes in and out, where we see it coming in and out of the bodybuilding world. And I was really, really skeptical. I didn't know if there was any sort of proof that it worked. So the first thing I did was I asked Dallas, why are you introducing this to the DDPY community? What has this product done for yourself? So he gave me his honest opinion. Now that's one man's opinion. So what I decided to do is, instead of doing a Google search from there, I went right to the scientific literature. I went to PubMed, I went to my local medical library, and I found as much information on blood flow restriction and blood flow restriction training that I could. And I have to be completely honest with you, I was completely overwhelmed. I had no idea how much of a rabbit hole I was digging myself into. There is so much solid scientific literature done on blood flow restriction training. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to know exactly, why does this style training work? Who is this good for? Who is this not good for? What are the certain contraindications? What do I need to know before putting myself through a transformation like this? So I went through all the literature. I contacted Dallas and I said, let's do this. I'm really, really interested in testing this product. Now I had a second ulterior motive. I know that if anybody in this community that would give this a true test, it would be me. I'm very, very scientific in nature. I consider myself a science nerd. I wanted to set this up just like a science experiment. So I'm the type of person that is meticulous with measurements and findings. So what I wanted to do is give this a true scientific test on myself. So starting the second week of October, I started my transformation. Now I think it's really important. I give you a little bit of a time frame of when all this happened. Between the time of March and the second week of October, when I started my transformation, I had been in lockdown for most of that time. We were in the period of COVID. All the gyms were closed. I had not lifted weights from March all the way to October. And the reason why Dallas selected me as one of the testers is because he knew that I enjoyed DDPY and I enjoyed lifting weights. And he wanted to see the results I can get by strictly doing DDPY Jacked workouts. That idea intrigued me. So I decided to go full force into this, starting the second week of October. And like I said, from March to October, I had not touched a single weight. But during that time period, I am a DDPY level 2 instructor. So I've been teaching classes this entire time over Zoom. Before I started the transformation, I was teaching up to 10 classes per week. So my cardiovascular conditioning was on point. My DDPY workouts, I had really, really good comfort of teaching and doing my own classes. That was the only bit of fitness that I was doing at the time. So starting October 2nd, I cut down my classes down to 5. I was only teaching 5 classes per week at the time. And I decided to do 1 to 2 DDPY Jacked workouts every single day. Now at that time, I only had the arm cuffs, and I started doing a workout each and every single day. Now on days that I wasn't teaching, I would decide to do 1 to 2 Jacked workouts per day. Now a little background about the Jacked workouts as well. When I first started this, the only Jacked workouts that were available in the series were the basement tapes. And these videos were being released slowly through my transformation. So there was no sort of setup of when to do each workout. So I just randomly selected workouts based on their workout time. If you guys have done the Jacked basement series, there's some 30-minute workouts, there's some 40-minute workouts, there's some hour workouts. So on days where I was doing 2 workouts, I may do an hour workout and then maybe one of the shorter ones. But over those 14 weeks, I did not miss a single day. I had completed over 100 workouts over that time period. Now, some more information about myself. I am a physician. I work a really, really busy schedule. So I work, 40 to 50 hours per week. Most of the time I'm over on the 50-hour mark. I work Monday through Saturday. So this was not an easy transformation by any means. I had my responsibilities of work. I had my responsibilities of my students, where I was still teaching 5 to 7 classes every single week and doing these workouts. But like I said, I went at this full force. I measured everything. I gave it all that I had. And over the 14 weeks, honestly, I was really surprised by my results. So over the 14 weeks, as I stated before, I was very meticulous about having metrics, so I can know exactly where I started in the beginning of this program, where I ended at the end of this program. So for body measurements, I was very, very meticulous about keeping my weight, my body measurements, and I was using in-body body composition scans. So if you're not familiar with in-body, it's a scale which gives you very, very accurate body composition measurements. So it separates your skeletal muscle mass, your body fat, and your total body water. And total body water is really important because it gives us an indication of whether or not there's significant swelling or inflammation of the body at the time. So every single day I weighed myself, and at the end of the week, I did my 7-day average. With my measurements, I did those every 2 weeks. With my in-body scans, I was very lucky. My local physician has an in-body, and he allowed me to do those scans. So I did a scan every 3 to 4 weeks just to see where I would be at the end of the 14 weeks. Now, one of the most important parts of any sort of body transformation is your nutrition. So I took that very seriously over these 14 weeks. Over the 14 weeks, I ate at complete maintenance, and there's a few reasons why I did that. That's what I was eating between March and October anyway. I was trying to maintain my weight. I was eating between 2,500 and 2,700 calories per day. I wanted to keep that a pretty steady metric so I can know where I started and where I ended. On those days, I was eating about 230 grams of protein. I was capping my carbohydrates at about 200 grams of carbohydrates, and then I was eating anywhere between 85 and 100 grams of fat per day. On those days that I did 2 separate workouts, I did increase my overall calories from around 2,500. Those were the days I was closer to 2,700. I was trying to consume at least 1 to 2 gallons of water per day. And for supplements, I kept it very simple. I just took a multivitamin every single day. I used 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every single day, which I consume anyway. I was taking 3 grams of fish oil, which again, I was taking every single day. And for health reasons, I was taking 5,000 international units of vitamin D per day. This is the same exact supplement protocol that I used prior to the transformation. I made no changes. So let's talk about results, because that's the reason why you guys are watching this video to begin with. So I did many metrics to see what my results would be. On day 1, I took my photo, which I will post here. Keep in mind, between March and that second week of October, I had not done any strength or resistance training. I had just done DDPY classes in the form of doing my own workouts and teaching my students. So for those 14 weeks, I had kept very, very meticulous scale weight. Over the end of the 14 weeks, I lost 4 pounds on the scale. Now, my body fluctuates very, very frequently because of water weight. So I took a measurement every single day, every single week. At the end of the week, I took the average, and at the end of the 14 weeks, I had decreased my scale weight by 4 pounds. Now, what did my measurements show? This was shocking to me. My measurements, I increased my shoulders by 2 inches. I increased my chest by 2 inches. I increased my waist right at my belly button by 3 inches. I decreased my hips by 1 inch. I increased my biceps by 3/4 of an inch. I increased my forearms by 1/4 of an inch. And also keep in mind that my quads, my legs, my calves, and my neck had all stayed the same size. So that would indicate a decrease on the scale, and an increase in my body measurements in the correct areas would increase muscle mass. So that's why the in-body scan was so important. When I did my last in-body scan, it showed that I increased by 3 pounds of muscle mass. And to me, that is absolutely shocking. I never in my dreams would have thought, by not lifting weights, that I had any opportunity to build muscle on my frame. And according to the in-body, according to my measurements, I had been able to have really, really great success only using blood flow restriction, only using the DDPY Jacked straps, and only using the DDPY Jacked workout. So that was all verified by science. Now, another metric that I kept over the period of the transformation was overall strength. Now, this was a difficult one. In the gym, you're always kind of monitoring your bench press, your deadlift, and your squat. That's a really, really good relative way to see if you're improving strength week after week, month after month, year after year. In this transformation, that became a little more tricky, but I did have the opportunity of monitoring my 10-second push-ups. So when I first, and again, I haven't been doing 10-second push-ups at all in between this time period. So on day one, I did as many 10-second push-ups as I can do. I maxed out at 5, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm gonna have to say it was 4 because my last set was not very good. Right after that, I took about a minute break, and then I got back down and I tried to do as many exploding push-ups as I could. And I capped out right about 41. 41 maybe wasn't that great. So let's just call it 40, but we'll get up to 41. On my 14th week, I redid this entire scenario. I got down, I did my 10-second push-ups. I was able to complete 9 perfect reps, counting super slow, of 10-second push-ups. That's the first time I was ever able to achieve that. I was able to get to 8 previously, and that 8th really wasn't that great. Today, I knew that I probably could have gotten 10, but I knew 10 would not be perfect, so I wanted to leave it right there, having perfect reps. I waited 1 minute, I got back down to the mat. I knocked out over 60 push-ups. I could have probably done 70. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I got a little bored once you're doing that many, but I was so surprised at just the relative ease that once I hit 50, I just didn't want to stop. I could have kept going. I consider that a pretty significant improvement in my strength. And I also mentioned before, my shoulder strength has improved vastly. I noticed that in my down dogs, I don't nearly get as tired when I'm doing my shoulder rolls, teaching my L2 workout and my L2 classes. I can get in those positions with ease, where before I was a little bit shaky. I always felt slightly off balance, and I just never felt as strong as I needed to be. After the 14 weeks, I am rock solid in all of those positions. Now, one of the biggest benefits that I found from these workouts is actually the increase in my shoulder size and shoulder strength. So using blood flow restriction, I was thinking that I was only gonna get a response, everything from the cuff down. So talking biceps, forearms, triceps. I had grown significant size in my shoulders. I had grown significant size in the strength of my shoulders as well. During this 14 weeks, I was also training for my DDPY level 2 test, where I have to put together the workout. And during that workout, there's a significant section where we're doing some shoulder rolls. And when I first started doing the program, I was having a lot of trouble holding myself up in shoulder rolls. I had a few small injuries in both my shoulders from years of weightlifting. I had noticed using the DDPY jack straps and the jacked workouts, significant increases in my shoulder strength. And I can attribute that to a lot. One is blood flow restriction. And the other thing is there's a significant amount of time in the DDPY jacked workouts where you're in down dog. And there's a lot of different variations in down dog where you're doing some new moves, some down dog crunches. You're doing a lot of 3-legged dogs. You're actually doing some, I'm not really sure what the name of the move is, but it's a 2-legged dog where you're standing on one hand and only on one foot, bringing the other foot up in the air. Significant improvements in my strength. I'm really, really happy about that. I can't wait to see how that incorporates into weight training when I go back to that. All right, an overall summary of my results over the 14 weeks puts a big giant smile on my face because I know all the hard work and all the time and effort that I put into this transformation was worth it. Not only did I build strength, but I built a larger, more muscular physique, a more aesthetic physique. I lost body fat. I gained stamina to the point where I feel like I could work out all day, and I'm more flexible than I've ever been before. What I think is really, really important to me is this is the first time in my life I've ever been able to achieve a body recomposition, meaning that I built muscle and lost fat during the same time period. At 39 years old, that's not so bad. I'm really, really happy with the results. So I'm really, really sold on the idea of using blood flow restriction training alongside of the DDPY workouts. So the biggest question that I get is how exactly does blood flow restriction work? Now, I can give you the most nerdy mumbo jumbo scientific answer. I could talk to you about this in hours, and I've done long form videos of this on the DDPY Facebook page. I have a quick 2 to 3 minute kind of elevator pitch which just explains exactly how blood flow restriction works. Now, it's very, very simplistic, but it's very, very complicated. So let's talk about just the basics. What are we doing to restrict our blood flow? We're applying a blood flow restriction cuff, either the upper arm or the upper leg. So it's right at the crease, right below the armpit, right at the crease, right below the groin. These are the only 2 approved sites to use blood flow restriction. All we're doing, and this is the DDPY jack strap, we're applying circumferential pressure around that area. In the case of the DDPY jack strap, the reason why this works so well is this little crank system. We're applying a significant amount of pressure. Now there's another term used in this world, which is blood flow occlusion. I don't like to use the word blood flow occlusion because that implies that there's no blood flow coming into the muscle. That's the absolute opposite of why this works, and this is the science behind it. We're still getting fresh oxygenated blood into the muscles. What's happening though is we're getting a backflow of blood back to the heart. So we are resisting and occluding the blood flow coming back to the heart. So you can see that the veins are starting to pop. You can see my arm is starting to turn a little bit purple, a little bit pink. That's normal for this style of training. Now, there's two reasons why this works. Getting this excess blood flow into our muscles, the act of cellular swelling triggers an anabolic response in the muscle. Really cool. Anabolic means muscle building. Also, we're having a buildup of a lot of cellular metabolites that would normally be returning to the heart. In science, it also shows the buildup of those cellular metabolites is causing anabolic response. So at the site of the occlusion, we're getting this significant anabolic response. We also get this great systemic response. The active blood flow occlusion has been shown to increase release in growth hormone throughout the entire body, and also an increase of IGF-1, which is insulin-like growth factor, all throughout the body. That triggers an anabolic response everywhere. So we see a localized effect. We also see a very, very big systemic effect. All of this has been proven in science. So let's talk about the DDPY Jacked workouts themselves. I absolutely love these workouts. I'm telling everybody to try the Jacked series. I've been doing DDPY for about 4 years. I've been a pretty active instructor over the last 2 years. I'm a level 2 instructor. So we kind of get into that same routine of doing the same workouts over and over and over. So it's really, really fun for someone like myself to have a new workout flow. So if you haven't done the Jacked workouts, the beginning flow is a little different. The warm-up's a little different. We still get into lunge phases, but there's a lot more reps in doing dynamic resistance. So that's been really cool. Dallas brought in a lot of moves that you would typically do in the gym with weights into these DDPY workouts, incorporating the jack strap. So I absolutely love the new flow. I love the pace. The pace tends to be a little bit quicker and we're moving a little faster. And if you have tried using the workout straps with the DDPY Jacked workouts, you will notice a significant increase in your heart rate. So some of us that have done these workouts and are pretty well-conditioned athletes notice that over a period of time, it's difficult to get our heart rates back up. Using the jack straps, I've not had that problem. I've noticed that I've been in the red zone more often than I've been in the green zone. And for me, that's okay. I'm pretty well conditioned. I'm actually looking for that. I'm looking to go a little bit further than I would when I was previously doing these workouts. So let's talk about the straps themselves. So when I first started the transformation, I had only received the DDPY jack straps for the arms. About 8 to 9 weeks into the transformation, I had received a set of leg cuffs. I absolutely love the DDPY jack straps. I couldn't be happier about the quality of the material. I haven't had any sort of problems. As I mentioned in previous videos, there is a break-in process that you need to go through with the straps before they become really, really efficient. Now, I've had these straps now. This is the same straps that I've been using for the 14 weeks. I haven't had any sort of problems with the locking mechanism. They haven't been sliding. And when I do pop them, I do get a very, very easy release. That did take a while for me. It was about 10 to 12 workouts before I really, really got the mechanism working to where they loosen up on their own. The leg cuffs, I couldn't go through this video without a little bit of constructive criticism. So this is the only point that I have. And it's not so much the leg cuffs themselves, but it's the incorporation of the leg cuffs into the workout. I know that the DDPY Jacked series is still new and Dallas is releasing new videos each and every week. And I did notice in the first set of the DDPY Jacked basement tapes, there's no cueing of when to jack the leg straps. There's cueing on when to do the arm straps, but I know they were still kind of working that in. So over the next few months, I'm really, really interested to see how he does incorporate jacking the legs into the workouts. I think that'll be really, really helpful in engaging the legs. And just from my own experience of doing my own workouts now with the leg straps, I found huge, huge benefits in stamina. So overall, with my transformation, I honestly couldn't be happier. I do not see myself ever doing a DDPY workout without the use of the DDPY jack straps. Now, I've been so intrigued by blood flow restriction training, I actually got certified by the University of Tennessee in blood flow restriction training. I absolutely love the science. I can't wait to apply other uses of these blood flow restriction cuffs to my regular workouts. So where does my transformation go from here? I am not stopping my transformation. At the 14-week mark, I will be completely honest with you guys, I was very burnt out. I definitely needed a little bit of a break. I took 2 complete weeks off from doing the DDPY Jacked workouts and using the occlusion cuffs. I just needed a little mental break. I was really, again, happy with the results, but I really pushed myself very, very hard over those 14 weeks. I needed just a little bit of time, and then I jumped right back into it. So where am I taking this from here? I'm actually gonna start using blood flow restriction, not only in my DDPY classes, but I'm also gonna use some of the protocols of blood flow restriction in lightweight training. So a lot of research shows that the stimulus to muscle growth is resistance. We need to use a high load of resistance, heavy weights, doing high repetitions of a certain exercise in order for muscle to grow. What's really interesting in the science of BFR, it shows that we can use blood flow restriction and use a low load, very lightweight, doing high repetitions and get the same anabolic response in the muscle as using high weights. Pretty shocking stuff. So what that lets us know is that we can really, really protect our body. We don't have to beat up our joints lifting and pounding heavy weights. Some of us love to do that. I love lifting heavy weights. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I'm gonna be able to incorporate blood flow restriction and maybe some deload training, or for certain muscle groups, I might just use blood flow restriction. I had such a great response in my biceps and triceps. I might just altogether stop using heavy weights in the biceps and triceps and only do blood flow restriction. So I will continue to review this product. I will continue to do reviews of the DDPY Jacked workouts. If you saw on the DDPY Yoga Facebook page, I had done a full review and analysis of every single DDPY Jacked workout, all the way through the basement tapes, and I'm gonna continue doing them as they're filming them at the PC. So keep an eye out for that in case you're interested in doing some of the DDPY Jacked workouts. So I tried to make this video as comprehensive as possible and give you my honest, unbiased, unsolicited opinion of this program and of this product. Nobody asked me to make this video. Nobody's paying me to do so. I'm not an employee of DDPY. I wanted to reach out to the community and tell you exactly my experience with these cuffs. Now, as you guys know, I am certified in blood flow restriction training. I am also a DDPY level 2 instructor. I am also an NSPA certified nutrition coach. Also, I'm an optometric physician. If you guys need anything, please reach out to me individually. You can find me, Dr. Tom Walent. Best place to find me is on Facebook. You can find me at beunstoppableathletics.com, or you can find me also at Project Mayhem on Facebook. That's where we teach our live daily DDPY classes on Zoom. So if you guys have any question regarding this video or about my transformation, I am an open book. I will continue putting informational content on the DDP Facebook page about blood flow restriction training, about the DDPY Jacked series, and I will continue reviewing this product. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a blast doing the transformation. If you guys have had a really, really good experience, I want you to do the same. Tell everybody about how you did your transformation, and let's see those results. Have a great day. My biggest saying in life is live your best life. And I feel by doing DDPY, incorporating the DDPY Jacked straps, eating a nutritious diet, and staying positive, I feel like you can truly live your best life. Living proof. Take care, guys.